Kao the Kangaroo is likely the exact game you want it to be. Its whole premise is to invoke early 2000s nostalgia, from janky and underwhelming gameplay, to poor camera work, occasionally rough scene direction, rough dialogue, and with very little in the way to pull you through the game itself, other than go here, pick up these collectibles, beat some bosses, and partake in some very basic platforming over and over again in a multitude of levels and worlds. The game ultimately reveals itself, in my opinion, to be a case study on why older games were a product of their time and offer very little in the way of redeemable qualities in 2022. Qualities we have come to expect from our game design in recent years. It's important to remember that we've been here before. Yooka-Laylee's entire premise was, of course, hey, remember when games looked like this and played like this and felt like this with these specific design trends? And people almost rejected it outright. It's something people felt like they really wanted. They wanted that nostalgia boost again. And when it delivered on it almost identically to what those games were, people didn't enjoy it because, quite frankly, we've moved on. The game is very accurate to what it wants to be though. The thing with the modern 3D platformer is every legacy franchise has adapted and been bettered by time, process, and design iteration. Mario Odyssey is arguably the best Mario has ever been. Psychonauts 2 is better than the original. They managed to have an excellent story while polishing the gameplay to an absolute shine, making it feel great by modern standards, but not so much that it alienated returning players from the game and the genre. Ratchet & Clank, both the PlayStation 4 remake and PlayStation 5's Rift Apart, feel the best Ratchet has ever felt, and it doesn't feel strange compared to the PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 games. It feels authentic, while feeling modern. It also tells a compelling story and looking one step away from a Pixar movie. Why developers feel this constant need to harken back to a time when games, quite frankly, didn't look as good, feel as good, or were not even closely designed to act and play how they do these days is beyond me. Please leave the past in the past. Some might find it harsh, actually. You might find it harsh to compare a new developer's first game, one that revives a 2-decade-old franchise that most people have not played, to the likes of Insomniac, Nintendo, and even Sumo Digital's Sackboy Adventure on the PlayStation 5. But given how the game is priced at around £30, I think it's completely fair. This is not a £10 to £15 adventure. For the same price, you could pick from any one of those games and more, all of which are almost objectively better when accounting for design, presentation, replayability, and not only craft of the medium, being games, but the genre. Artistically, the game is very nice. It won't win any awards, mind you, but it's nice. It's a brilliant world that they've put together here, and I think it's authentic to what they actually want to mimic. There's these little flares of brilliance how everything flows together at times, and I think for someone that's looking for this very specific type of game, I think we'll enjoy what's on offer here. Narratively, there's absolutely no build-up. Within the first 5 minutes of the game, a bunch of context is thrown at you at 1,000,000 miles a second. You start the game, and then you get bombarded with every mascot platformer cliche there is. An eager and undertrained protagonist, a wise and stoic grandfather figure, stakes that are in the form of a world-ending event or a family member being taken, while being kicked through a tutorial and dropped into a hub world. It's from here your mission is to collect runes, go from level to level, building yourself up to eventually save your sister. It's not the deepest game, it's not incredibly well written, and both the combat and movement controls are very limited while feeling somewhat polished, but in a way that makes it more authentic to what you probably want to experience, and honestly, what those games probably were. Critically speaking, if you want to experience what is, in my view, the worst parts of early 2000 games, and specifically platformers, then Kao delivers on all of that. If you want to genuinely experience an early 2000s 3D mascot platformer, good and bad, for it to feel authentic, then Kao is likely a game worth your time. Just because I don't like it, this game may very well be the exact thing you're looking for right now. Kao is perhaps in many ways more authentic to early 2000 games and its roots than most remakes or releases or reboots of that same era. Once you've completed one world in this game, you've sort of completed it all, and I stopped playing after about 90 minutes and left the first one or second one. I'm not quite sure where I ended the game, quite frankly. And that's why this video isn't a 2022 review, it's more of a first impressions. I honestly didn't want to sit through 8 to 12 hours of what I know this game offers ultimately. This is not a game for me, but that doesn't mean it isn't absolutely perfect for you. If what I've described or shown on the screen looks like it's your jam, please go out and buy this game. Don't pick up Sackboy, don't pick up Mario, please buy this game if you want to experience very identically like early 2000s platformer gameplay. If you're in the 99.999% of people who didn't play the original, or even know it existed, quite frankly, because I didn't, right? It was on the Dreamcast, and you're itching to do basic platformer that have next to no challenge, you want to run around, collect some letters, collect some diamonds and coins. For £30, Kao can absolutely be yours. And look, I'm older. Maybe you are as well, and this is exactly everything you want right now for that little to scratch that itch. And maybe this game would probably be great for younger kids. Maybe you've got kids or family members that want to play it. It's a really simple platformer in the same vein and same simplicity as a Lego game, and maybe it scratches that itch for them as well. It just isn't for me, but hopefully it's perfect for you, and that's why this is a First Impressions.